Yo, what's poppin', y'all? Yeah, man, this shit acting up, my nigga. Like I'm gonna stop. Like I'm not gonna come back. Here we is. I'm back. I just want to see something. Yeah, so I see this nigga KK doing this little bug out shit because I blocked because I calmed his ass out because he be coming in my live with eyeballs and all this other crazy shit. My nigga, I'm on a serious live right here. My peoples ain't got time to be people coming in here with googly eyes and all that. I told you I don't play them games. So he can say whatever he gonna say. I ain't trying to hear. Oh yeah, I ain't trying to hear all that the old people shit. Like not like I was saying, man. The influence. Let's talk about it. Basically, like I was saying, right? So you got different types of people. You got different types of people that you meet in the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? And the different types of people that you meet in the penitentiary be those people. Now, I didn't block them. I just timed them out. I didn't block them. I just timed them out. Yeah, I just timed them. I don't want to hear all that stuff. We ain't into spooky stories over here. We don't care about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's my man and all that, but I'm not into all that. So now, back to what I was saying. I'm going to stay to the topic. So, because this is the new live, I'm going to break down the first individual again. So, you got dudes that's charismatic. You know what I'm saying? And the people that are charismatic, what they do is they use their charisma and they use their influential aura. And what they do is with those influential auras, they're able to move pieces. They're able to control minds for the time being, though. Because it all depends on the type of individual who lets them control their minds. Yeah, so that's a fact, Venezuela Reyes. I'm back in the business. Salute, Shatter. I don't care nothing about that, King Silent. I don't care about none of that. So, yeah, I'm a woman beater, but he shot his girl in the leg. Come on, bro. That shit don't make no sense. I'm a woman beater, but he got stabbed up in Elmira. I'm a woman beater. Come on. I'm a woman beater, but the nigga ain't even in the lineup, never was in the lineup. Come on, all that was lies. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that. So, like I was saying, right? So you got individuals that use their charisma. And because they got a little, that's a fact, because they have a little bit of charisma, that charisma turns into influence. See what I'm saying? And that influence causes people to jump and do certain things. But they don't know that the person that's sending them to do those things, you know what I'm saying? The person that sent them to do those things is exactly the same person that ain't built like that. You see what I'm saying? They never was built like that. But since they had the aura and the charisma and the character, and they had all that down pat, they were able to get by with that. You see what I'm saying? For example, OG Mac. OG Mac was one of those type of individuals. You know what I'm saying? OG Mac was one of those type of individuals. He ain't cut nobody. He ain't stabbed nobody. He had a few fist fights. But his charisma and his leadership skills that he didn't have. That's a fact. That's the girl. We in here again. But his charisma and his character carried him because everybody was looking at him, but they was looking at his mind more, since he is the creator of everything. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't never cut nobody. He ain't never stabbed nobody. You know what I'm saying? Sportiality, peace. So at the end of the day, he got by with that until later on when everything surfaced. Then when everything surfaced, they only saw one weakness apart from other weaknesses that he might have had that no one saw. You see what I'm saying? So, for example, while he was running around, yo, punch that like button on your way in. Let it be known who you be when you come up in here. When you come in the Spartan house, let them know you up in here. You know what I'm saying? Let them know. So basically, they were able to move pieces in that manner. He was able to move pieces in that manner because no one questioned whether if he put work in or not. See, when it comes to prison, putting work in is very important because it shows where you was at. And it also shows, you know what I'm saying? It also shows what you were about. For example, some dudes would say, yo, they didn't do that much box time. They wasn't popped off. Okay. They didn't do that much box time. They wasn't popped off. They was sleeping with the enemy. Because like I said, you can't pick and choose who your enemy is. An enemy is an enemy. That's it. There's no, okay, he's the enemy over here. Yeah, he's an enemy, but he ain't. In Vietnam, the Vietnamese put bombs on kids and sent the kids, you know what I'm saying, sent the kids to the to war. And then the Vietnam people, the Americans that was fighting in Vietnam, they had to kill kids, even though they didn't want to. You know what I'm saying? They had to kill kids, even though they didn't want to. It's crazy. So imagine what that does. Imagine what that does to the brain. You know what I'm saying? Imagine what that does. That's a fact. Sent them on suicide missions. And that's the same thing that happens in prisons when you sleep with the enemy. You sleep with the enemy sends, or the enemy comes at you on a suicide mission. You see what I'm saying? Because I done met mad dudes that were never built like that. For example, here's a story. When after I knocked out the warden in OBCC, they sent me to the hospital. When I went to the hospital, after I came out the hospital, that's when they sent me to the Beacon. While I was in the Beacon, that's when they put me in that room that y'all saw the video of when I had to get out the handcuffs and all that, right? After I went through that whole situation there, they decided to send me to the block. Now, when they sent me to the block, I'm already messed up from fighting with the police. So now what happens is this. I'm already messed up from fighting with the police. I tell the CO I want to take a shower. When he cracks me out for the shower, I tell him, yo, I want to use the phone too. So when I'm coming out the shower, I'm going to use the phone. And they let some dude out. So when the dude comes out, he comes out swinging a bubble razor. For those of you who don't know what a bubble razor is, a bubble razor is the regular shaving razor. And we call it bubble razor because you get it from the bubble. You got to give your ID card, and the CO gives you a razor from the bubble. The bubble is the officer station. You know what I'm saying? So he had a bubble razor or whatever. So he's coming at me. He was unsuccessful with that. I put the beats on him real fast. He drops the joint. The CO comes in. He's like, yo, break it up. But Duke was all bang boomed up. He went, grabbed Duke, pushed him in the cell, told the CO that came to close the cell, and then asked me what happened. I was like, I don't know. Ain't nothing happened. He's like, I just saw y'all fighting. I was like, nah, we were slap boxing. We just playing around. Don't write no ticket. Don't waste your time, man. Go relax in the bubble. You know what I mean? You ain't got to write no ticket or none of that. He ain't do nothing. I just got to use the jack, so he let me use the jack. Later on that night, the police came. The police came and they put the beats on him. Beep, 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 beep. Later on that same night, the ibuprofens and stuff that the hospital gave me, I pushed it under the door. I pushed it to his cell because I saw when they brought him back in, he was all beat up because he failed. The police send him at me because of what I did to the warden in OBCC. So the police sends him at me. Anyway, so now when after that day, he looked at me in a totally different. He sent me a kite. He's like, yo, I appreciate what you did. You know what I'm saying? My bad, me coming at you. You know what I'm saying? But it's just shocking that you would even try to help me after I try to come at you. I told him, yo, don't worry about that, bro. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't about nothing. Later on, I was able to send that same dude to go get somebody because he became loyal to me. See what I'm saying? So that my influence on him was me helping him. That's one part of influence. Because he would never think like, yo, I just came at son. Like, why is son trying to help me? Trying to help me recover. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, it's so good. Don't worry about it. Because in my mind, I'm saying he failed anyway. Mission unaccomplished. You see what I'm saying? So he failed anyway. You know what I'm saying? So now what happens is this. The dudes that were part of that were on the other side. So they were in 1B. You know what I'm saying? They were in 1B, bro. But these were dudes that couldn't live in 1B. So they put them in 1B in a beacon. And they had them there for a while. You know what I'm saying? And when they had them there like on special custody, like protective custody. Because they got ran out of the Bing. So when you get ran out of the Bing, the only place they can send you is to another Bing where it's, you know, anybody that had influence in the prior Bing you was in don't got influence there. So they put them in this 1B part. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta look at the situation like a lot of people could have influence in many different ways. But the individual is what you need to know is if his influence is that way. You know what I'm saying? That's what you need to know. You need to know if the individual's influence is that way. So now, from there, like I said, I sent son ate something for me. And from then on, when he went up north, he was repping me. He's like, yo, Wildcat, my big homie. Yo, Wildcat, I got love for Wildcat. You know what I'm saying? All up north, I'm here, yo, your man Love. Your man Love got mad love for you. You know what I'm saying? I was over here like, yo, that's my nigga right there. But they never knew that the story was that he tried to come at me. You know what I'm saying? But I utilized that situation and I turned it around. And I made the situation more towards my benefit. You know what I'm saying? Now, but this is from a person that gets busy, that has a repertoire for getting busy. You see what I'm saying? Now you got other individuals that didn't get busy like that. This is why they weren't high classification. For example, when a dude was like, yo, when the dude says, they had me in 5-point box. 5-point box. That's a double bunk box. So if they put you in a double bunk box, what does that mean? That means your security level is low. So they don't got to put you in Southport. They could put you in any of those S Block 2000 boxes. They're not going to put you in Southport. They can double bunk you. They can put you in a cell with another person. You know what I'm saying? Gemstone the Solid, I see you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So you had dudes that were going through these boxes because they wasn't really getting busy like that. Because you got some dudes that were on go time. I'm talking about extra. And you got dudes that were, they'll get busy. They ain't suckers. But they weren't on extra time. And when I say extra time, I mean the war's not over. No one said the war is over. So until someone says that the war is over, an op is an op. And then sometimes you be in the box. And for example, CK had an incident on the visit. Dynamo had an incident on the visit. I had an incident on the visit. Quan had an incident on the visit. I knew a lot of dudes that, for example, you be in the box and you chilling in the box. Dude just come out of his face, start saying something on the gate. There's only one way to get him. The only way you're going to get him is you're going to have to either pull him down on the floor or hold that chop bump on the floor if somebody comes to see him. If not, you're not going to be able to get this dude. You know what I'm saying? So you might go to the box for 2 years, but now son violated on the gate. When son violated on the gate, I'm going to get to that in a minute, Wild Scrap. So now, dude violated on the gate, y'all bump on the visiting floor, you got to pop. So what does that do? After you pop on him, you lose your visits, and you get more time in the box. These are situations that happen. Magoo was in the box for a minute, but the reason Goo was in the box for a minute is because of what? Because he was on go time, which meant what? If he came out of it, if somebody violated on the gate and he bumped into him on the visit, son got his food ate. See what I'm saying? Push that like button on your way in. 73 heads in here, 34 likes. What's up? That like button looking too new. Smash that joint up. Let everybody know you up in the building. This is a Spartan's crib. You heard? When you in the Spartan's house, we let ourselves be known when we be up in here. I mean, so like I was saying, right? So you lose your visits. You get more time in the box. That's all called what? It's called sacrifice. It's called sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? When you sacrifice your visits, when you sacrifice your time for a cause. Because a cause ain't pick and choose. A cause is a cause. No matter what it look like, what it seems to be, a cause is a cause. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. Let's talk about it. Ace Boogie, that's a fact. It's on site. You know what I'm saying? You don't go, oh, I'm in population now. I want to go to commissary. So this dude right here, even though he represents the op, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to let him slide because I want to eat commissary because I want to walk the yard. Let me tell you something. The biggest, how I'm going to say it, the biggest facade that I ever heard of was the box population thing. A lot of dudes used to be saying, yo, dudes be in the box, but they don't be in population. I went home from Auburn population. Before that, I was in Comstock population. Before that, I was in Attica population. And I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't what people were saying. People used to be like, yo, population this, population that. Some people used to say, yo, on Rikers Island, they use razors. Up north, they use bangers. All the spooky story stuff, the shit you see on Tubi TV and Hulu and Netflix and all that, right? All that was straight garbage. Because when I went to Pop Dog, when I came out the box in 2001. Yeah, 2001. They sent me to Comstock. When I went to Comstock, the first thing I did was go to the yard. Went into all the piles. What's up, man? It's OG WILDKAT in the building. What's up? And all dudes did was greet me and give me bags of food. Facts. So while dudes was talking all this stuff like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You go to Pop Dog, you know, Pop Dog, she gets this and that and the third. It wasn't even all like that. It wasn't like people were saying. You know what I mean? Pop Dog was sweet because a lot of dudes want to stay in Pop Dog. They don't want to go to the box. They want to stay in Pop Dog. They don't want to suffer because the suffer is messing with them, with their head. It's messing with them. It's driving them crazy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people can't suffer for a long time. They can only suffer for a certain amount of time, and then they got a breaking point. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, when a person is scared to suffer, then they come with all the excuses. You're in Pop Dog because where it's at. You're in Pop Dog, this, that, and the third. All I saw in Pop Dog was dudes signing in, dudes in the yard. Yo, I was in Comstock. Matter of fact, OG Dead Arm was there. I was in Comstock. I knocked the dude out on the go back. None of his mans helped him. They saw his man get laid out in the yard in front of everybody. And his mans didn't even help him. That was the overstatement. Dudes used to be like, yo, when you go to Comstock and you go in the hole, you know what I'm saying? You go in the hole. That's what dudes go gun to gun. Dudes used to be talking all these stories about dude tie his arm and the other dude tie his arm and they tie their arm together and they go gun to gun. When I heard that, I said, yo, that's the most stupidest shit I ever heard, bro. Who the hell is gonna tie they arm and the other dude ties his arm and they go gun to gun with knives? That's like the most dumbest thing I ever heard. You know what I'm saying? That's like the most dumbest shit I ever heard, yo. So it was exaggerated when dudes used to be like, yo, because let me tell you something, a lot of them old dudes, and I've been around the farmers, rest in peace. I've been around the Zays. I've been around a lot of old timers that were getting busy back then. They was on retirement mode. They wasn't on really. You know, Farmer was still on his thing a little bit, but most of the old timers that was getting busy, they was all on fall back time. They done already got tired, and they already had their little wars or whatever, so they was all on fall back mode. All the dudes that was popping off was in the box. So now what happens is that with all the dudes that popping off is in the box, Those that really ain't popping off like that, they in population chilling. You see what I'm saying? They just chilling in population. While other dudes is putting in work. They sacrificing their visits. They sacrificing more time doing it in the box. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear like Tankhead was getting busy. See what I'm saying? You had a lot of other dudes that was getting busy. SI, rest in peace. It's getting busy. SI, for example, SI went to Attica. And he wasn't there that long. He bumped into an op. He saw him on the visiting floor. He ate him. He was out of there. That's how simple it is. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of dudes don't really break it down correctly, and it may sound a certain way, but they don't explain themselves correctly. This is why a lot of times, like the other day when CK was going at it with Son, and I be hearing other people's podcasts, and I be hearing things, I be like, okay, but you gotta really give meaning to what you're saying, because that we living in a troll world. So when you don't break down what you say, you know what I'm saying, you make yourself seem like you top. You're not. You see what I'm saying? So this is why I said the art of deception. The art of deception is something that's been used for years in the prison system. For years. You know how many dudes there is in the prison system that's in and out of the prison system that made it alone on just their aura. If you check their repertoire, like how many dudes did you eat? They ain't eat a lot of dudes like that. They didn't. You know what I get a lot? I get a lot of homies. Yeah, it's a fact, Jim Something Solid. I get a lot of homies that hit me up and they be like, yo, Cat, you know what I'm saying? We know about you. But, you know, there was other people that we ain't never heard of them. We ain't never seen them on the lineup or none of that other stuff, this, that, and the third. I said, yo, I can't really speak about that because I can't speak about what other people say. I just came out. You know what I'm saying? And I know what's on the papers and I know all that. On the council, you know what I'm saying? Me and Goo, I used to visit Goo on the regular. You know what I mean? And I'm still in contact with Goo. See where I'm in contact with a lot of other homies, you know what I'm saying? But my whole, like I was saying, is the power of influence, man, is the deception. You know what I'm saying? In order for your influence to be 100% ascertainable, your deception got to be up to par. So that's a fact, live from the 718. Because you got to remember something, live from the 718. It's because of the mentality. When you're on go time, you don't give nobody the chance. The only thing I got is right here. That's the only thing I got. That's the only thing I got. In all the years that I was locked up, that's it. Blocking the race. That was it. You know why? Because when you're on go time for real. You don't give no one a chance. See, a lot of people think they got it like that, and that's when they get cut, and that's when they get snuck. Because what happens is that they're not on. I'm not gonna say they're not on go time, and don't get me wrong. Anyone can get got, but it just the person that's doing it getting how they got you. That's a fact. And yo, I'm gonna tell you something. It is how you carry yourself, yo. It's all how you carry yourself. How you carry yourself also defines. Oh, yeah. Like you carry yourself also defines. Listen, I was mostly loved by everybody, then hated. When I went to Attica, y'all, they showed me nothing but love. When I went to Comstock, y'all, they showed me nothing but love. When I went to Auburn, y'all, they showed me nothing but love. Because they respect the person that they know at any second is not going to waste no time. We don't care about population. We don't care about commissary. We don't care about watching the news on TV. We don't care about drinking Sanka coffee. We don't care about Jack Mac. We don't care about playing basketball. We don't care about none of that. If the scene ain't right, then you already know you gotta light it up. Because if you half step, then what happens? You get caught out there. Or there's two ways to get caught out there. You could get caught out there slipping, or you could get caught out there doing nothing. Then later on say, yeah, I was doing this, that, and the third. Because your charisma and your character makes it seem that way. You know, every magician got a trick up his sleeve. Every magician got a trick up his sleeve. Now, ain't nobody blocked KK. KK was timed out. It wasn't blocked. Who said that? Yeah, I see it. Ain't nobody blocking. He was timed out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it means a lot. Let's talk about it. Because if you carry yourself, let me tell you something. There was a lot of dudes. I could name. I don't really do the names, but there was a lot of dudes that weren't getting busy like that. They weren't getting busy like that. They were average. When we say average, it means, yeah, if they got to, or if they get in a situation, they're not going to back down. But they weren't hunting. See, there's a difference. They weren't hunting. Because if you pick and choose your op amongst a nation of ops, you're not hunting. You're waiting, and that's not part of hunting. A hunter doesn't wait unless he's waiting to seek and destroy his enemy that he already got on target. A hunter doesn't wait for his target to come. He already knows who his target is. Now he's waiting to kill him. So a lot of times, like I said, a lot of dudes be saying all this crazy stuff about, you know, how they was putting in that work and how they was doing this, that, and the third. And really, it wasn't like that. It really wasn't. I've been to 3 population yards, and it was all sweet. Sweet yards. These yards are sweet. There was nothing going on in them yards. And the people that was there, they knew better. Look, when I went to Auburn, they had me in E block, right over Honor block. When I went to Comstock, they had me on Keep block, and then they put me right next to Honor block. When I went to Attica, they had me in B block. You know what I'm saying? But them police ain't want me there because of influence. So they got rid of me. You know what I'm saying? When your security level is high, for example, if I would have popped off in Attica, which I did, me and Tank, Rat Hunter Tank, shout out to Rat Hunter Tank, me and Rat Hunter Tank, when we was fighting in the hallway with them police in Attica for like 30 minutes. From one side to the other. Some got busy. You know what they did? They sent me straight to Southport. They didn't even put me in their box in the snake pit. Straight to Southport. Classification is too high. They know niggas on go time. See what I'm saying? When the niggas on go time, that's how it goes. They know who you are. If you're a person that they don't see you like, if they don't see you like a threat, I got you, Mike Perez. If they don't see you as a threat, they're gonna throw you in one of them double bunk boxes, or they're gonna throw you in upstate somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You ain't that serious. You know what I'm saying? They don't see you as that serious. And yo, you know what was funny? I remember when I was in the I met a dude that came from the state when I was in the feds, and I saw how tight he was. When another brother told him, yo, where you was at? And he was naming all the double bunk boxes, and dude was like, oh, you didn't hit Southport. He was like, nah, Southport, man, Southport's for MOs, some plug outs. I'm on the side, I'm like this. You know why he got tight, right? Reason he got tight because he knows he wasn't getting that busy. So they put him in a double bunk box. His classification ain't high enough. And sometimes, if you ain't been putting in work for a long time, they'll do that to you. It happened to Hound Dog. Shout out to Hound Dog. Hound Dog was in the port, but he ain't put in work in a while. They put Hound Dog in one of the double bunk S block joints. You know what I'm saying? And when they put him in one of them double bunk S block joints, guess what he did? He took his bunkie, beat him up, tied him up, and put him under the bed. So when the CO did the round, it was like, yo, where the hell's your bunkie at? He was like, yeah, he's under the bed. Yo, why do people listen? What's that? Oh, somebody raised. Listen, y'all. Whatever's going on, whatever's going on over there on that side, I don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what people say. I don't care about none of that. Because I don't get my money off the internet. So I don't take this to the level where I gotta be going back and forth with people for views on the internet. All that is for views. I don't need views. I don't need to be running around in the cold in projects. I don't need to do that. I just did that a couple of weeks ago when I went to go visit my PJs. I don't need to do none of that stuff. That's not impressive. What does that mean? What does that mean? If you in the PJs every day, what does that mean? That don't mean nothing at all. All that means is that you're stuck in one spot and you can't get out of there. That shit don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing. I don't care about the shots. I don't care about none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, man, I don't do this for views. I don't need it. Look, I got 134 people up in here. And it's what? 2 in the morning. Do I really need views? I don't need views. So I'm not gonna come up here and talk about nobody else. Cause I don't come up here for that. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I don't care about none of that, bro. That shit gonna be back and forth, yap, 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 yap. People gonna be like, oh, they going at it, they going at it. And all along, he could come in the chat right now. He was never on block. That's the funny thing about it. He was never blocked. So instead of going over there and making a live out of it, see, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. This is what I mean by jumping the gun. Nobody was blocked. Nobody was saying anything about anybody. Son jumped the gun. He went over there and said whatever. And then everybody came into my live and they're telling me what he's saying. But you know what I'm doing? I'm not responding to that. Because at the end of the day, number one, nobody blocked him. Number two is the dude on top of Killer Kev said some stupid, and I ended up timing out Kev because he put the eyeballs out. That was it. That was it. So this is a perfect example of what I told CK the other day. This is why I don't pay attention to the stuff that I hear. Hey yo, Kev, look how you in the chat. I thought you was blocked, Kev. What happened? I thought you were blocked. Nah, everything good. Nah, everything good, man. Also, Bosley, ain't nothing happened. Man, listen, man, that shit about nothing, man. That's a mistake. Look, it's a mistake. But at the same time, I'm just letting people know I'm going to practice what I preach. I told CK to do the same thing, and I just did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And look, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? What's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. Why would I come up here and talk about my bro? You know what I'm saying? So he just, and look, he's still my bro. Kevin's still my bro. You know what I mean? Even though he said whatever he said, I don't care about none of that stuff. People say things when they're angry. I do too. I don't care about that. Salute. Billy up, Kev. But so I salute Jazzo. I see you, Jazzo. So you gotta watch these type of dudes that were influential. Another person, yeah, I see you, Killer Kev. Miss Playful, you heard? What's up, Miss Playful? Yeah, so I seen a lot of dudes do that. I seen a lot of dudes. Bob Kem was another one of them dudes. This dude. Hey, yo, Kev, he's a stupid dude, Kev. Hey, yo, Kevin's a funny ass. That's my dude, though. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Nah, you gotta stay up now, Kev. You ain't going to sleep, nigga. What you talking about? You going to sleep? You gonna keep your ass up now. But yo, so you know, you had those dudes that they were influential, but they wasn't putting in no work. Oh, you know what, Miss Playful? Guess what? Now I can do it. Now I can do it. Yeah, because right, see, what happened was, Miss Playful, real quick. Hey, yo, Kev, you would have threw the water at me. Keep it real. I saw you holding the cup. You was about to bust your cup on me, Kev. Queen's finest, salute, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, Miss Playful. I know you did. Miss Playful. I'm not on StreamYard today, so I was able to do it today. That was the problem. When you're on StreamYard, you can't add mods. And when you're on StreamYard, I can't see the chat that good. Like right now, I'm seeing the chat. You do 3 cups of heavy cup? Damn, man, why you gonna throw all them cups? I would have drank them. I would have drank that. Yo, but on the real, you know what I'm saying? Kevin's crazy, yo. Kevin's crazy. Hey, yo, salute Kev, bro. Hey, yo, man, I told Wayno the same thing. Anytime y'all need an event, man, call me. It's no problem, man. CK's fat stomach didn't know that nasty nigga had kids. I saw him in here. There he is. When is the baby shower? Oh my gosh. Nah, we ain't gonna be doing that. And you know, Miss Playful got her thing. She got her weapon too. So I suggest y'all don't play no games. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So first of all, thank everybody in the chat. Before I continue, I want to thank everybody in the chat because you see that situation went left quick, but it also went back right quick. You know what I'm saying? That's why we say brotherly love overrides oppression and destruction. That's why we say that. Same way when CK had the incident the other day, I called in. Why did I call in? Because I ain't like the way that went down. But on both parts, I wish it wouldn't have went down that way. I'd rather them would have had to talk about it after the live. I would have preferred for it to be that way. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't happen that way. And I saw Kev when he came on the live too. And they were talking about the IPC stuff. So that I was like, man, I gotta get in there now because I see Kev is in there now too. And you know, I had to get up in there and make sure, you know, things were said right. But I don't want to jump off. Salute Dave Johnson. Yo, Dave Johnson, anytime I see your name, I'm thinking about Dave Johnson, the manager for the Mets. It's crazy. Big Mac salute, bro. But yeah, so you had a lot of dudes up north that were like that. That they were influential, but they ain't put no work in. They ain't put no work in. But the aura was like that. Another thing, let me get something right. Yeah, I know. Dave Johnson is good people, I know. I fucks with Dave Johnson. But let me break something down about that. Look, for example, you had all these dudes that was influential. You had all these dudes that were influential, and guess what? After their soldiers was obliterated, they had to go on the run. It's like they say about a pimp. After a pimp can't pimp his chicks, he got to sell his own butt. You ever heard that? What's that like button on your way in? Let them know you're in the building. It's a fact. When a pimp can't pimp no more, he got to pimp himself. You know, what would the pimp game be if the female was to say, I know you ain't nothing but ass. You ain't pimping me. It's my body. What would a pimp be? A pimp wouldn't be nothing. You see what I'm saying? This is when you break through the masquerade. You see what I'm saying? This is when you break through the masquerade. And this is what I was talking about before. The art of deception. I know a lot of dudes, bro. I know dudes that came to the box. Me and Kev was talking about this the other day. Me and Kev was talking about Kyle. Kyle put in work in Attica. But his movement was being promoted by someone who had ulterior motives. Whereas Kyle was supposed to be the person of that movement, this person tried to make a stand. So when he goes to Southport, what did he do? When he's going out to the yard, ain't much he can do because you chained up. He went and kicked the police in the leg. They whooped his butt. They sent him down to level 1. When he went down to level 1, he thought he was going to get applause. Instead, nobody cared nothing about the dude because nobody knew the dude. Nobody knew of any work the dude ever put in. So some was left for a dead damn man. He just disappeared. They pulled his skirt. Charlie Kilo, salute, bro. Starting the $2 drive. I see you. You see what I'm saying? Because it's an opportunist type of world. Opportunist type of world. And the art of deception is crazy. It's crazy. KK, no, there's a bunch of dudes that was running around the state that didn't put in no work. But they had the aura and they had the ability to move people. That's a skill. That's a skill that you don't even have to put no work in just to have. You can have that. You could be born with that. They ain't put in no work, but they was able to move pieces. It's a couple of dudes like that. Strategic. That's a fact, Cap. Strategic. And you gotta always remember all these things, yo. No lie. So be as well. Hey, Kev shooting over here. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. 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 I'm just gonna, yeah. I'm not gonna say that. No, shout out to So Be. I'm gonna say that there was a lot of individuals up north, man, that had a hell of an influence and they ain't put in no work. Facts. You put in no work, yo. Nah, I know you just joking, okay? They ain't put in no work. So you gotta be careful with those type of people, yo. You gotta be careful with those type of people. Salutations, bro. Because those people can mislead you and guide you the wrong way. You know, if you look at everything, controversy sells. Right? We all can agree controversy sells, man. Controversy is one of the biggest sellers. Because it's all part of deception. Because controversy only means that it's an attraction to get you to follow. And as you follow, you become a member. You become a believer. You know, they was talking crazy about Donald Trump. Right? A lot of people don't know. Donald Trump said, yo, we're not gonna be wasting our money. Right? I know this for a fact, I can show you. Donald Trump said, we're not gonna be wasting our money. And y'all violating these dudes for smoking bud and stupid offenses. If they violate their parole or probation and there's a major violation, okay, bring them in. But if it's something stupid, the hell's you doing? Wasting our money because now we gotta house them, we gotta spend money to feed them, we gotta spend money to close them, and we gotta spend money to house them. No. Donald Trump did that. The Reagan era, what we got from the Reagan era? Crack laws. What we got from the Clinton era? A lot of people don't know. Y'all got to do your research on Clinton's, not Hillary. Bill. Bill had the character of characters, but it's what happened underneath that you need to see. Obama. Obama. Y'all don't even know the laws that Obama enacted while he was in office. So while he was over there with Jay-Z and he was cool and all that, y'all don't know that Obama signed some really tough laws where it didn't give people second chances. It doesn't matter his race, his color. Yes, we should be proud that we had a black president. But what did that black president actually do? I mean, as far as, global stuff, maybe he was more of a voice of reason. But under the rug, he had his dirt too. And you know what's crazy? What's crazy about it is that you wouldn't think that until you start to read. I tell everybody like this. Research the presidents and see what laws they was enacted during their presidency. And you will see what I'm talking about. Research the presidents and the laws that were enacted while they were presidents, and you will see what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, look, I could do that right now. Look. I'm going to show you, watch. For example, watch this, y'all. What laws were enacted in the criminal justice system during Okay, watch this. Okay, so now they say Obama made progress on criminal justice reform. Now here's what I'm saying. Now he did do the most. I forgot what's the name of that. He did bring a lot of people home. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, he didn't abolish the laws that was hold. Like for example, King Tut. Shout out to my boy Tut, free Tut. Tut's been in there, sitting in there with a life sentence for fur coat. It's crazy. Yeah, he gave a lot of pardons. Yes, he did that. For example, he granted 58 federal prisoners early release. But these prisoners had crack conspiracy cases. They say it was 1993, and during war catalyzed by Ronald Reagan in the 80s was in full swing. The nation was in hysterics about the threat of crack cocaine, and politicians of all stripes were running a platform of tough on crime. But what they did is they capitalized off that. Once the crack era came in, what they did was they said, we're going to make mad bread out of this. So now we can start opening private prisons. You see that? I agree with that. But I want to show he issued clemency to nearly 1,000 inmates. So while he had a balancing act. While he did good, it was still bad in there that he didn't touch because it was beyond his power. It's not about Trump giving an F about anybody. It's the things that he does. For example, what he's saying is that everything costs money in this world. So if you're going to spend money and you're spending money to oppress, then he don't want to spend money on that. So that's a good thing that he did. See, a lot of people don't like Trump because of his character. He's pompous. He's pompous, and he has, he does a lot of, he says a lot of things that reflect like when he was on that show. You know what I'm saying? Salute, Mike Lopez. I appreciate you, bro. But you got to look at the things that he's done as far as law-wise. Put aside his character and look up what he's done law-wise. You see what I'm saying? This is the things that we need to see. Why do you think they really went after Donald Trump? You think they went after Donald Trump because of all that other stuff? Nah. The reason they went after Donald Trump because they knew he was going to do some of the things that he's doing now. Some of the things that he's doing now, a lot of other people didn't have the heart to do it because they didn't want to face the wrath of Congress. And he did it. And he faced the wrath of Congress and won. Those other presidents did. So these are all things that you got to look at before you characterize. Because I ain't going to lie. All right, I got you, Kev. Salute, bro. These are the things that you got to look at. That's why I talk about when I say the art of this deception. The art of, for example, if, let's say Bloomberg, you see how Bloomberg is putting up all these ads to try to run for president? Do you know Bloomberg's history? Do y'all know that Bloomberg had the stop and frisk in effect when they was oppressing people in the street, stopping them and frisking them for no reason? Do you know that? So if you know that he's that type of person, imagine when he becomes a president. So you got two evils, as they'll say. You got one, and they both rich. Michael Bloomberg is just as rich as Donald Trump. But I'm going to tell you right now, Michael Bloomberg will cause us damage where Donald Trump is not. All Donald Trump is doing is he's putting people in check. Now, y'all looking at the tax cuts and all that other stuff. I'm not really looking. Nobody's going to be perfect. They're all going to have their flaws. And Donald Trump has his flaws. But Donald Trump had good reasons for the things that he was saying. Hey, yo, not the racist ones, no. Not anything racist, hell no. But I'm talking about, for example, I was working in the supermarket. When I worked in that supermarket, majority of the people that was in that supermarket were from one ethnicity, right? They felt like they was dominant. They was running. They was playing it like they on jail time. You had a bunch of they were all bozos. Like you really got to be careful what you do to these people because they'll tell on you in a heartbeat. They'll act tough. When you take them outside of the store, beat them down, break them up, break their jaw, wash them up, cops is coming to arrest you, bro. But in a work environment, right? Now look at Trump's point. If you go to a work environment and there's too many of one class of people in there, that's not a good thing, and that's what he's saying. He's saying there's not enough diversity in these jobs Because what's happening is that the owners of these jobs are getting the people who are cheaper, and as they keep recruiting the cheaper people, it becomes all those people. So you might have a person that's coming in and he has skills in that job, and he can't get in because they took the cheaper people, and now the cheaper people are going to try to make it uncomfortable for you to stay there because they feel you're a threat because you either know the job better than them or you're more qualified. Henry 4625, yo, that is so true. That is so true. He said Bloomberg raped, destroyed New York. Who else could get all that real estate for that city bike? That's a fact, bro. That is a fact. Look. All right, I feel you on that, Mike Perez. Like I said, I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying he's perfect. But I'm saying that's a fact, Big Mex. Ronald Reagan was terrible. Ronald Reagan was terrible. But the art of deception is crazy. The art of deception. Ronald Reagan went from acting, and then he became a president, and his laws caused people to do 20 and something years for little crack rocks. For little crack rocks. He caused people to sit in jail for years. I agree with you, Mike Perez. We're never going to get a perfect president. That's why I say out of all the presidents, Obama had a good side to him, where the other ones just didn't have none. And even Trump has a good side to him, but his ain't out in the open. His is under the rope, under the blanket, because his character is an illusion of what his real intent is. This is why they go after him. You know what I'm saying? This is why they go after him. Like you can have people, for example, Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, right? Genghis Khan took the Mongols and they built the Bridge of China. Right? They built the Bridge of China. But do you know how many people died? Yeah, that's right, J.D. Moneyback. The Rockefeller drug laws buried people back in the days. That's a fact. That is a fact. But the illusion of him being an actor, the illusion of him going to Nicaragua and all that, made it seem like something that it wasn't. Ooh, his institute. Obama legalized gay marriage and killed Gaddafi. You see? Obama and Trump are playing the game of the rich. Both increase the working poor while making more rich. That's the pros. Those are the pros. See, the difference between Obama and Trump is Obama had humble. He was humble. And Trump is not humble. Obama did his smoothly. Trump is doing his on go time. Iran-Contra scandal. That's a fact, J.D. Moneybags. That's a fact. But we all get caught with the illusion of what these people promise. So when I sit down, when I see Michael Bloomberg running for president, I say to myself, yo, the only thing that could come from that man is problems. Because this is a man that said that police officers can go on the street and just say, you come here, and just throw them on the wall. And then he lost when Mayor de Blasio came in there and took that away. If anything, if anybody want to be a president, I'd rather Mayor de Blasio be a president than Michael Bloomberg. Blaze Biggs, that is so true. That is so true. A lot of people are suffering worse than us in other third world countries, and we don't know about it. But I bet they do. Ooh, oh, Ray Leon Rivera. Shout out Ray Leon Rivera 721. He said Gaddafi was trying to unify the African currency, which would have destroyed the American dollar. Look, you see, this is what happens when you do research. Salute, Carlos Hernandez. Ooh, Venezuela Reyes said every president in Venezuela for the last 100 years was a military officer, and people still vote. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Look at that, Jay Moneybags. Bloomberg just bought Virginia. He changed the gun laws, and they ready to go to war down there. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? Wildcat cut me. You don't feel bad about what you did to me. If I did it to you, you deserved it. And I didn't sneak you either, because I didn't sneak nobody. I did it right in their face. China on the rise to destroy America. I mean, oh, here's another thing. Do I have it in here? Hold up. Let me see if I got it in here. That carnivorous virus, I don't have the thing. If anybody got a Clorox wipes canister in their crib right now, look on the back of the Clorox canister. The ones that you open up and the wipes come out and you wipe the tables and all that. Look on the back of that canister. It's going to tell you that those wipes kill the carnivorous virus. So it's nothing new. Bernie Sanders, yeah, Bernie Sanders will be great. I think Bernie Sanders will be a great president. But they're not going to let him get in there. Because he's a liberal. They won't let Bernie Sanders get up in there. You see what I'm saying? They won't let him get up in there. Bernie Sanders, I think Bernie Sanders would be more better for us. Yeah. Oh, you read it, right, Gabe Rodriguez? It's right on the back. Right on the back of the bottle, it says about that. So the carnivorous virus is not something that's new. It's been around for a while. What happened was in China, in that area where it got crazy at, because they wasn't saying nothing. And they was not taking it as serious because it could be cured at its when it's coming out, at its beginning stages. But I'm gonna tell you, when you don't look at it and you let it get bad, I don't know what that means. Cut cheese this morning to put on his bread. Do you feel bad? I'm not sure what that means. Oh, got you. Yeah, the right to bear arms, that's another thing. The right to bear arms, whew, they want to disarm us. They want to disarm us for the new foot so they can, if they disarm us, then what? Look at that movie on Gangs of New York. Police was a gang. See what I'm saying? They was a gang. And now they one of the biggest gangs in the world. Hell no, nobody is giving up their guns. You have a right to bear arms, a right to protect yourself. Some of us, they take our rights when we get locked up. So, you know what? That's why you always got to have that person by you. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. That's why when you're any state, you can get a gun easy. But in New York, because they don't manufacture guns in New York. That's why New York got strict gun laws. They know if you have a gun in New York, it's not registered, it wasn't definitely manufactured there. So they hit you with that 922G quick. Whole act. Felon in possession of a weapon that came over interstate commerce. So you're not being charged with the gun for any intent in the gun. What you're being charged for is the travel of that gun from one state to the other. You violate the interstate commerce clause. It's like Bonnie and Clyde. When Bonnie and Clyde was committing their crimes, they'll go from one state to another. They'll cross the state lines and stop and look back and wave and be like, y'all can't come in here to get us. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But you also gotta look. Look at all the songs, the music that they was having back in the 60s and 70s. Pink Floyd. We don't need no education. Right? Then they say we don't need our thoughts control. Why they was saying that? Right? Why they was saying that? They were saying that for a reason. Because in those times we were dealing with a lot of wars. And a lot of people back in the days, they were sending them to war. They didn't really want to go. Venezuela said, Democrats are showing their ass now that Black Americans are talking reparations. If it wasn't for us, Republicans would have been in power since the 70s. That's a fact. Real deal. I shot a thief in my business, and because he died inside my business, I had to pay the police to say he died outside. It's illegal to have a gun in Venezuela. Look at that. But it says in your Second Amendment right is the right to bear arms. And you're allowed to have it in your home or place of business. CK, these are dentists. Oh, Ladybug sleep right now. Shout out Ladybug. She'll get up in a little while. She gets up about this time. Blaze. You know what? They wrote how many of y'all here saw the movie or read the book, The Spook Who Sat by the Door? How many of y'all in here have seen the movie or read the book, The Spook Who Sat by the Door? Did anybody read that book? That's a fact, Church Abdan. I actually asked that during my trial. The book is better, right, Leon? Ray Leon Rivera, 721? Yeah. All these things were already in plans. You know, when somebody devises a plot or somebody devises an ideal, they're being watched to see how much influence that ideal can cause and how much it's going to cost the country to keep that ideal in check. Yeah, I see that, Henry 4625. I seen that. And if you look at that movie, right? If you look at that movie, not only did they trap them, but they just started shooting. They just went for their guns and started shooting. Real deal. If it wasn't for guns, we would still be in slavery or Jim Crow. The Geechees and the Native Americans gave the government that work. Then slavery ended. Yup. Oh, you read the book and seen the movie? That was a good book, right? You know what? I remember when I read that book, because the book wasn't that big. It was about this, like this thick. And when I was reading the book, I was like, yo, now I see why they took the movie out of the movie theaters. Like, you won't see that movie anywhere. Not on Netflix, not on Hulu, nowhere will you see that movie. Nowhere. The book, yeah, definitely was much better. Hell yeah, CC. The book was definitely much better. But you won't see that movie nowhere. Nowhere will you see that movie. You know why? Because the message is too strong. So they're going to take that up out of there. Nah. The book, you might still be able to get the book. The only book company I saw that had the book, well, now you ain't see it on YouTube. I don't think you can see it on YouTube either. I don't think it's on YouTube. Oh yeah, they do got it. They do got it. They do got the yeah, they do got the movie. They got the movie on YouTube. I just saw it right now. See? Yeah, they got the movie on YouTube. But again, look, Nipsey Hussle was talking about that one. Nipsey Hussle talked about that, and look what happened to Nipsey Hussle. So I'm gonna chill with that one. Oh, you got the book? That's a good book to have. Yo, that book there, like you having that book, that shows where your mind frame is at. Because to read and understand and digest that book, you gotta have a strong mind. And the book was like nonstop. Oh yeah, that's good to read a lot. I definitely do the same thing when I get a chance. I haven't been reading lately because I've been doing so much things, but it's a good book. It's definitely a good book. That, Behold the Pale Horse, the New World Order, you know, all those books are good. You know what I'm saying? All those books are good. But you got to be able to digest the knowledge that you're getting in those books. I seen people, no lie, I seen people get so paranoid that they start bugging out. After reading all those types of books, Behold the Pale Horse, The Adepts, New World Order, conspiracy theory, and all this other crazy stuff. This is why I don't really get, oh, that's a fact. They don't want hell no. Because now knowledge is powerful. Knowledge is powerful, yo. Yeah, knowledge is powerful. For example, the drugs that's coming into this country. They've been knew No drugs was coming in here. They just know they can't stop it because they can't stop the growth of it in the other countries. You can't stop the Middle East from growing poppy seeds. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop none of that. None of that stuff can you stop. Yes, drug money funds war. Yeah. For example, how many people have been to an impound, a police impound, and they're selling the cars that they took because they saying that the person that they took the car from bought the car via drug money. So you could go to the auction and you could buy a Mercedes Benz up to date that they took from certain people, that they took from somebody, and you're gonna buy that for like 5 racks. That's a fact, CC. Only certain people can handle it and take it as a smart person and it takes a smart person to listen and learn about it also. Yeah. But you gotta remember, it's the way you digest it. I know a dude, he read George Jackson, Blood in My Eye. Right after he read that book, I remember they was cracking him out for a shower. He was a young kid. He was about 19 years old. He was my neighbor in the box. And I used to kick it with him every day. He used to tell me his problems. I used to be kicking it with him, brother. Yo, little bro, you know what I'm saying? You got to be, see what I'm saying? After he read Blood in My Eye, CC, you know what he did? When he came out for a shower, he snuffed the police. They beat him down in front of the shower. See, this is the type of stuff that we don't want to happen. We don't need reactionists. We need more people to understand it, because there's a lot of ways to express your knowledge than it being transgression. And I'm talking about knowledge. The U.S. asked countries like Colombia to grow poppy for the world wars, for morphine. After the wars, they burned the farmers' fields. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. And why do you think they did that? Because if they can't make bread out of it, they don't want nobody else to. That's what you call control. See what I'm saying? I can imagine on Venezuela Reyes. I can imagine. He saw his life in that book. He never did a self-reflection. That's why it exploded on the CO. Yeah. You know, that's why I was telling him, like, I was like, damn, little bro. But they brought him back. They brought him back with an eye jammy and all that. I was like, damn, little bro. Why you do that? He said, yo, F these devils. I was like, yeah, but you know what? You just lost. You didn't win. You don't win that way. He said, what you mean? I was like, yo, at the end of the day, you're back in your cell with an eye jam and you got messed up. He's going to go home. His wife's going to take care of him. And he's going to come back tomorrow and make money at work. You see what I'm saying? He's going to come back and make money. So you didn't stop his flow. You showed him your anger and your hatred towards him. And at the end of the day, you were penalized for it. So you didn't accomplish anything. It would be different if you would pop off and then the whole gallery popping off at the same time. That's a movement. But they ain't going to let that happen. They ain't stupid. Oh, here we go. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother clicking up that dude off. You can stay up in here. That's too many clicks. David, he gonna get tired. Remember, he had to copy and paste and do all that. He put in a lot of work for that. Ooh. Real deal said that's why the devil loves you busy. You never sit back and think until you're locked up, right? Where he wants you. That's a fact. Because we be out here so, we out here, we're so like into everything that we don't get the time to sit back and say, yo, hold up. And that's a whole fact. When I was locked up, I saw the news more than I do while I'm out here now. Right now, I probably check my phone to see what the weather's going to be. And when the news pops up on my screen, I look at it real quick and take it right off. You know what I'm saying? So your mind is distracted out here. And this is why I tell people that for those people that are locked up, you got to use your time wisely. Because you know what? All that time you got the time to rebuild yourself. When you're locked up, you got the opportunity to rebuild yourself. You can rebuild yourself. When I left Auburn, I left my neighbor 2 draft bags of books. It had to be around 200-300 books in it. That's not counting all the books that I gave away in the different jails. Because I wasn't going to bring all those books home. I should have. I would have had a nice library in here. But I'm still working on doing it again. I didn't lose that agenda. I still got that agenda on my mind. Taliban fought off the drug pop rollers who were funded by alphabet boards. Yeah, I mean, I broke that down on my war report when I was talking about how, in Iraq and all that, they had these types of people that were just people that come from other countries and they lived there because they work. So Saddam Hussein was saying, you know what? These people ain't even from here. They're just here because they need work. I'm going to give them some work. They're going to work with my army to take over, and he's going to make it a whole. You see, that's the art of deception right there. He was using the art of deception. Adolf Hitler did it too. You see what I'm saying? Adolf Hitler used the art of deception. Because Adolf Hitler had so many people. He had a large army. He had a humongous army. You know how many people died? And then at the end, when he died, that was it. I think they could self-destruct. I think a lot of knowledge, some people can't hold a lot of knowledge. Salute, Flower Child. Millions died. Yeah, millions died. And at the end of the day, his death was short, simple, and he had no kind of he didn't go out gunning or nothing. He just got murked. Look at Dominican Republic. You had Leonidas Trujillo. At the end of the day, his own people set him up. Because he deceived his way into office, and once he got into office, that was it. He became a dictator. See what I'm saying? So this is why I say the art of deception is something that's really deep. One big family in the shadows. Yeah, he was a mass murderer. He was a mass murderer because he oppressed the Jews. That was his own personal. Look at that. That was his own personal. Us, cow money. That was him. That was his own personal agenda. And for his own personal agenda, a lot of people died, bro. And at the end, he died simple, like a dude gets shot on the block. So imagine all the people that were piled up and were killed. You see what I'm saying? But the influence that he had was unmatchable. He'd go up there and say his speeches and all that. And he had everybody transfixed. You know what I'm saying? So we always got to be aware of the art of deception, man. Because it's deep. Don't let yourself be deceived by nobody. That's a fact, Flower Child. They didn't deserve that. It was his agenda, not his country's, his agenda. And his agenda caused a lot of people their lives on both sides. Yeah, real deal. Trujillo, hell yeah, he was a monster. But he was another one. They got in there, and the way he got in there was he deceived the people. So the moral of my story today is for everybody, man. Always keep in mind. Always be mindful. Don't let yourself be deceived. Be more of a thinker. Be a contributor. Be a contributor to the progress of us as a whole. Don't be part of the missiles that's coming at us. And I guarantee that this world will be more fun and be more about love. Because right now, controversy sells. And not only does controversy sell, but controversy, while it's selling, is destroying. And a lot of us don't see it that way. Because we're sitting back in the chair and we're looking. But while we're looking, we're not feeling what the other person is feeling. That's the problem. We don't humanize with the opposite. I mean, when you gotta go to war, you gotta go to war. No doubt about that. Hitler was a Man of the Year, People Magazine, 1939. Look at that. Look at that. Self-deception is deep. Self-deception is what I was talking about earlier, when you see the dude talking in the mirror for like an hour. And then when he come out of his cell, he got a whole different swag. Yes, real deal. People are more narcissists than ever. That is a fact, bro. That is a fact. People are more narcissists. Sometimes you go in the store and the person won't even say, excuse me. And the one that's saying, excuse me, is a real fishy person. And the person that was rude is a straight punk. See what I'm saying? That's what you see today. The Balfour document. I'm going to check all that. Yeah, there is something big out there that we don't know about. Of course. Because they play moves ahead. That's why I learned the game of chess. I learned the game of chess for a reason. Because I've always been a calculative person. When people say, yo, WILDKAT ain't ever been touched, like I said, I got this one cut here on my arm. And I sold this myself. That's about it. Reason why? Because I played that chess. know what I mean? So, and Shika Deepman, hello. Hello, bro. If you're a guy or girl, I'm not sure. It's a letter written to the King of England to help get the Jews a nation of their own and how to make it happen. Ooh, I want to read that. I want to read that. What's it called again? Yo, what's that called again? Um, hold on. Where's that book at? Oh, Balfour document. I'm gonna read that. Yeah, I'm gonna read that. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the chat, man. There's a lot of intelligent people in this chat. And I really appreciate that, man. For real, I really appreciate the intelligent people that's up in here and the knowledge that we share with each other. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point of my life. My point of my lives is for us to progress in some way, form, or fashion. I don't do my lives for negativity and stuff like that. Sometimes negative things that was talked about in the past are just things that will have to be done. But as the work we evolving, and as we evolve, we become better people and we do better things. Ah, flower child, this world is just getting worse and worse. I wish we could all push our problems aside and get along and not get corrupted by money and power. That is a fact. That is a fact. Because I'm gonna tell you something, money and power is a distract. How many of y'all seen that movie, The Crazies? How many people in the chat have saw the movie, The Crazies? Y'all ever saw that movie, The Crazies? It's that killer. The truth is out there. Flower Child, you saw the movie, The Crazies? If you look at that movie, The Crazies, look what happened in The Crazies. They put something in the water. Something went in the water when that plane crashed into the water. They didn't go in there and tell them nothing. Once they started getting poisoned, they started taking the little bit of people that they can, and then they nuked the whole town. They killed everybody. Now, where do you think they get the idea to even come up with a movie like that from? You ever think about that? Where do they get that idea from? That idea comes from somewhere. It comes from some type of knowledge. Y'all gotta watch that movie, The Crazies. Shout out Jill Mooney. Y'all gotta look at that movie, The Crazies, y'all. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. Know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna see. Look, even my lighter. How do they know that this is what an alien looks like? How do they know that? You ever think about that? Where do these ideas come from? I remember watching The Demolition Man. Remember The Demolition Man, they didn't have to do no time in prisons no more. They were freezing people, preserving their heart. So at one point, they was an aging, and they were still young. But guess what? They don't have to freeze us for us to stay looking young, and they don't have to stop our heart to do that. So basically, what they gave us was subliminal of what actually happens. You see what I'm saying? Because if y'all watch Demolition Man, they put them in those things, froze them, and then let them out for 30, 40 years later. But yo, my time is up right now. It's 3 in the morning. So I just want to salute everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate everybody that came in the chat. I appreciate your thoughts. I'm glad I was able to show an example of how you take a negative and turn it into a positive. Because earlier we had a little thing going on, but it was a misunderstanding. But you know, at the end of the day, I appreciate that, CC. At the end of the day, you know, what we did was at the same time, we let it be on the live, and everything is good money. People have misunderstandings in this world. There's always confusion in this world. But at the end of the day, you can't let it dictate your movements, your emotions, your feelings. You can't let it dictate that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to be strong. Come through again, Flower Child. But Pasero Belletti 777, come through again. Facts. I always, you know, I appreciate everybody in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Because I appreciate other people's thoughts and feelings. And I like to learn from other people because to me, I got the SpongeBob mentality. I like to absorb knowledge even though I have a lot. You don't never have enough. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I'm glad I got to show an example. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I wasn't a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Because the other day I jumped in CK's defense because I didn't, you know, CK get busy. CK is a good dude. You know what I'm saying? He's a rascal. But CK is a good dude, man. And a lot of us got good qualities in us that a lot of people don't see. And sometimes we just gotta take the time to look at a person and see what they made of and try to understand them instead of judging them. So let's be more inspirational and less judgmental. And it's also let's be more strong and less weak. And let's not let no one deceive us. Don't be deceived by nobody. You see what I'm saying? Keep your head up. Everybody in the chat, be safe. Have a good night. I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow I'll be back on. Same time. Tomorrow I'm doing 2 lives. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want everybody to get some sleep. It's 3 in the morning. But y'all listen, man. It was 3 in the morning. We rocking. We had 100 heads in here. Matter of fact, where that one like at? Somebody kick that like button real quick. Somebody punch that like button real quick. We stuck at 99. There it is. We out. Salute. Rap. Y'all already know.